Hello, my friend. In the glittering world of fame and glamour, the chase for perfection often pushes celebrities toward the surgeon's table. Some transformations shine, turning heads and inspiring awe. But others? They leave scars, both visible and invisible, that last a lifetime. From subtle touch-ups to shocking overhauls, countless stars have faced harsh criticism, and in many cases, deep regret over choices they thought would secure their beauty. Tonight, we peel back the curtain to uncover the raw truth, the stories of plastic surgery dreams that spiraled into nightmares, exposing the painful reality behind Hollywood's dazzling facade. Meg Ryan, once crowned the undisputed queen of the rom-com, is making headlines again, but this time, it's not for her charming smile or girl-next-door sweetness. The bubbly darling who defined romance in the 80s and 90s, lighting up screens with effortless beauty and an infectious personality, has re-emerged with a look that has fans doing a double take. Gone is the wide-eyed innocence that made audiences fall in love. In its place? A transformation that whispers less America's Sweetheart and more Real Housewives reunion special. And the internet can't stop asking, did she or didn't she? The verdict from most observers? Oh, she definitely did. Her cheeks, once softly radiant, now appear puffed up like overinflated party balloons, giving her smile a strangely weightless quality. Add in the heavy hand of Botox, and her forehead seems frozen in time, polished to the point of distraction. Her brows have taken a downward shift, leaving her expression more stern than playful. And after a string of rumored facelifts, the face we once knew feels almost like a stranger. It's a jarring contrast to the lovable rom-com heroine who once made the world swoon. Fans can't help but long for the Meg who made us believe in love at first laugh. Whether or not she chooses to return to that natural glow, one thing's certain, we'll never forget the woman who defined an era of romantic comedy. Lara Flynn Boyle, once celebrated for her classic Hollywood elegance, first stole the spotlight with her breakout role on The Practice from 1997 to 2004. With that success, she became a household name, starring in acclaimed films and earning a devoted fan base. It seemed as if she was destined for a long, glamorous career. But in recent years, Boyle has made headlines for a very different reason: her dramatically altered appearance. The face that once embodied timeless beauty is now almost unrecognizable, sparking endless speculation about plastic surgery gone too far. Instead of the radiant starlet audiences adored, critics say her look now mirrors the exaggerated style of reality TV's Real Housewives. Reports suggest a long list of procedures: rhinoplasty, lip augmentation, dermal fillers, Botox, and possibly even a facelift and brow lift. What should have been a careful touch-up turned into what some call a plastic surgeon's buffet, and Boyle, tragically, went back for seconds. The result? Overfilled cheeks, swollen lips, and an appearance that strays far from natural beauty. While some blame harsh paparazzi shots, the truth is that Lara's transformation has become a cautionary tale about the dangers of chasing perfection through surgery. Her story proves one painful but undeniable truth: in beauty, as in life, sometimes less really is more. If you're ready to uncover her journey in full, drop a 1 in the comments and stay with me until the end, because what lies ahead in this video will truly surprise you. Tara Reid rose to fame as a young actress, lighting up the screen with unforgettable roles, her breakout in The Big Lebowski, 1998, cementing her place on the road to stardom. But one infamous moment in 2007 would overshadow her career: a red carpet wardrobe malfunction that exposed her square-shaped areolas. Overnight, the internet turned cruel, plastering the photos everywhere and even labeling her breasts the ugliest in the world. Desperate to reclaim control of her image, Tara turned to plastic surgery. But instead of salvation, it brought disaster. A botched breast augmentation and liposuction left her with uneven curves and rippled skin across her stomach, her body becoming a public cautionary tale. Additional procedures, including stomach liposuction and a donut mastopexy, only made things worse, failing to erase the damage. After years of painful trials, Tara finally swore off surgery unless it was absolutely necessary. Yet, through the scandals, the mockery, and the personal battles, she never lost all her fans. A loyal base has stood by her, still rooting for her comeback. Today, Tara Reid continues to step back into the spotlight, hoping the next chapter of her story will be defined not by drama, but by the kind of roles that once made her shine. Mickey Rourke stormed into Hollywood with his breakout role in Body Heat, 1981. A performance so magnetic it drew instant comparisons to legends like James Dean and Robert De Niro. By the 2000s, he staged a remarkable comeback with unforgettable turns in Sin City, 2005, and The Wrestler, 2008, reminding the world why he was once hailed as one of the most promising actors of his generation. In the 1980s, Rourke wasn't just a star, he was a symbol of rugged masculinity, a bad boy heartthrob whose smoldering looks and raw talent seemed untouchable. But his journey took a sharp, tragic detour. A string of plastic surgeries, meant to repair injuries from his boxing days, left him almost unrecognizable. Once chiseled features gave way to swollen cheeks, altered jawlines, and speculation about botched implants. His tough guy aura vanished, replaced by whispers of what went wrong. In 2009, Rourke admitted the heartbreaking truth. He had trusted the wrong surgeon, and the procedures meant to restore him had instead robbed him of the very face that made him iconic. Today, caught between Botox treatments and questionable styling choices, he seems a shadow of the Hollywood rebel the world once adored. Rourke's story is more than a Hollywood tale. It's a cautionary reminder of how the relentless chase for perfection can strip away the very essence of identity. Once a rising star with the world at his feet, he now stands as proof that fame, beauty, and legacy can be as fragile as flesh and bone. And yet, fans still hope he might reclaim a flicker of that dangerous, magnetic charm that once set Hollywood on fire. Courtney Cox, a former model whose beauty could light up any magazine cover, burst into Hollywood with her unforgettable role in Scream, 1996, and later charmed millions in Cougar Town, 2009 to 2015. But in her pursuit of eternal youth, she seemed to take a detour through the world of plastic surgery, leaving fans both stunned and concerned. Today, her appearance leans less toward the down-to-earth allure we once adored and more toward a polished socialite look. Rumors swirl of a subtle facelift, not the extreme tugs of the 80s, but still enough to make us do a double take. And then there are the fillers. Her lips and cheeks, once naturally striking, appeared overfilled, almost as if they had a life of their own. In a rare moment of candor, Cox admitted she had been chasing that elusive fountain of youth, only to regret the outcome. With courage, she chose to have all her fillers dissolved in an effort to reclaim her natural beauty. Still, the traces of those choices remain etched across her face, a reminder of the price of Hollywood's relentless beauty standards. Fans can't help but wish she had stayed with the classic, effortless look that made her iconic. Yet there's hope that she will find balance, embracing her age gracefully while letting those stunning blue eyes, the ones we first fell in love with, shine front and center once again. Lil' Kim, born Kimberly Denise Jones in 1974, wasn't just another rapper, she was a revolution in heels. Bursting onto the scene in the mid-90s with Junior Mafia, she quickly proved she could hold her own next to the late Notorious B.I.G. Her debut album Hardcore in 1996 didn't just make waves, it set the standard for fearless, unapologetic female rap. Kim wasn't only known for her razor-sharp rhymes, she turned heads with her daring fashion, making her one of hip-hop's most unforgettable icons. But then came a moment that left fans stunned. When Lil' Kim stepped onto the MTV stage years later, the spotlight wasn't on her music, it was on her face. The once familiar features fans adored seemed to have vanished after a series of lip and facial surgeries. Loyal supporters who had celebrated her rise alongside Biggie suddenly found themselves asking, "Where's the Kim we knew?" In a world where new female rappers were fighting for the crown, staying relevant is a brutal game. Yet Kim's pursuit of fixing her natural beauty seemed to rob her of the very presence that once made her untouchable. And let's be honest, when the conversations are more about your plastic surgery than your verses, it's a harsh sign of how unforgiving fame can be. So here's the question for you. When you look at Lil' Kim today, what do you see, reinvention or loss? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because her story is more than just music, it's a reminder of how fame and beauty can be both a blessing and a curse. Carrot Top, once instantly recognizable for that wild, mop-like red hair, has always been an easy target for playful jabs. But in recent years, the spotlight shifted from his outrageous comedy to something far more distracting: his face. When he re-emerged over a decade ago looking like a completely different person, fans were stunned. Was that really him? Speculation swirled about plastic surgery, but Carrot Top brushed it off, claiming his transformation was simply the result of intense workouts. Sure buddy, if you say so. Gone was the quirky, clownish look that made him stand out in films like Chairman of the Board, 1998. In its place was a face so altered that people couldn't stop talking. Today, Carrot Top has become almost unrecognizable, and the biggest punchline of his career might just be his own transformation. Still, if anyone knows how to turn a shocking twist into a laugh, it's him. After all, he's always had a talent for turning heads, one way or another. Angelica Houston, the daughter of legendary director John Huston and Italian-American model Enrica Ricci, Soma, has always carried Hollywood royalty in her blood, but she earned her own crown with sheer talent and unshakable determination. Her natural grace captivated audiences, winning her an Academy Award for Prizzi's Honor in 1985. And who could forget her hauntingly elegant portrayal of Morticia Addams in The Addams Family, 1991, a role that forever sealed her status as an icon of Gothic glamour. Yet in recent years, the spotlight has shifted. Headlines no longer celebrate her achievements but rather her strikingly altered appearance. After selling her longtime home in 2011, she re-emerged with a look so dramatically different it left fans stunned. Each red carpet appearance since has sparked whispers, not about her brilliant performances, but about the surgeon's scalpel. Trying to separate her breathtaking body of work from the endless chatter about plastic surgery is like trying to compare a fine vintage wine with grape juice at a frat party, nearly impossible. And that may be the cruelest twist of all. A woman whose artistry once silenced critics now finds her legacy tangled in debates about her face, when it should be remembered for her fire, her elegance, and the unforgettable characters she brought to life. Donatella Versace. A name that reshaped the fashion world and turned Versace into the very definition of luxury and glamour. But behind the dazzling gowns and iconic runways lies a different kind of spectacle: her dramatic journey with cosmetic surgery. Over the years, her face has become a story in itself, filled with twists and turns that could rival Fashion Week's most jaw-dropping shows. With enough Botox and fillers to stock a small clinic, Donatella's look has shifted into something almost unrecognizable. At one point, her skin was so shiny after a laser resurfacing treatment gone wrong that it looked like she'd stepped straight out of a disco ball. Those deep lines around her mouth and nose only drew more attention to overfilled cheeks, while her lips, once natural, are now so plumped they've lost all sense of proportion. What was meant to be a statement ended up looking more like a punchline. Take a quick trip back to 1993, and you'll barely recognize her. Yes, we all age, but her transformation feels worlds apart from the natural beauty she once carried. Critics joke that Donatella treats plastic surgery like another designer accessory, something to pick up on a whim, like the latest handbag or pair of stilettos. So here's the question: do you like her current look? If you do, drop a number 1 in the comments. Michael Jackson, the immortal king of pop. He gave the world timeless music and performances that redefined entertainment. But behind the glittering lights, he faced relentless scrutiny, cruel whispers, and the ugly shadow of industry racism. By the early 80s, the pressure gnawed at him, shaping insecurities that pushed him toward dramatic transformations. What began as a few nose surgeries soon spiraled into an odyssey that nearly erased the features he was born with. Then came the skin treatments, slowly altering his complexion, taking reinvention to an entirely new level. Michael explained it away, saying a broken nose from an accident had made it hard to breathe. But as the years went on, more changes followed. A reshaped chin, higher cheekbones, tighter eyelids. The world couldn't look away. The man whose voice and moves transcended generations was now judged more for his changing face than his legendary artistry. Yet no amount of controversy could erase his genius. Michael Jackson remains a once-in-a-century icon whose music continues to heal, inspire, and ignite the world. His looks may have transformed, but his legacy, as the king of pop, will forever stand untouchable. Amanda Lepore wears her plastic and reconstructive surgeries like a badge of honor, calling them her life's work. At 56, she's no longer the shy boy from Cedar Grove, New Jersey. She's transformed into one of Manhattan's most striking nightlife icons. Beginning her transition at just 15, Amanda's path has been anything but ordinary, a long, silicone-paved road to fabulousness. Once obsessed with Marilyn Monroe, she's now the talk of New York, making a living as a performer, model, singer, and event host. Over the years, Amanda has undergone countless procedures, multiple breast augmentations, butt implants, even rib surgery, to achieve that coveted hourglass figure. But don't mistake her for someone hiding behind the knife. She's refreshingly open about every step of her transformation. Rather than conforming to the girls who once bullied her, Amanda aimed for the glamour of a movie star, and she delivered. Her look is a fearless testament to bold choices, earning her the nickname, the most expensive body in the world. Nearly every part of her has been enhanced, reshaped, or refined, and she makes no apologies for it. Amanda Lepore is living proof that when it comes to aesthetics, she plays for keeps. What do you think of the look she's going for? If you love it, show some love in the comments. If not, type 0 and let me know. Kenny Rogers burst onto the scene as a country music powerhouse, winning hearts with his smooth, velvety voice and rugged good looks. He wasn't just a star, he was a household name in Nashville, and by the 90s he even proved his versatility by launching one of the most recognizable restaurant chains in America. But behind all that success lay a chapter that left fans stunned. In the 1970s, Rogers embodied masculine charm, a symbol of effortless cool. Yet, like so many celebrities chasing youth, he chose to go under the knife. Hoping to refine his already striking features, he underwent eyelid surgery and a brow lift. The results, however, were not what he envisioned. The procedures altered his signature look so drastically that they shocked longtime admirers. In later interviews, Rogers himself admitted regret. Cosmetic experts have echoed the sentiment, noting that his brows were lifted just a bit too high, leaving him with an expression more startled than suave, more owl-like than country icon. The combination of blepharoplasty and that overly ambitious brow lift stripped him of the rugged authenticity that once defined him. For a man who built his legend on charm and grit, the transformation was as heartbreaking as it was unforgettable. Heidi Montag, the blonde bombshell with piercing blue eyes and an unshakable hunger for fame, rose to stardom as Lauren Conrad's sidekick on The Hills from 2006 to 2010. By the late 2000s, she had become one of reality TV's most recognizable faces, captivating viewers with her stunning looks and larger-than-life presence. But in 2010, Heidi made a decision that stunned the world. In a single day, she underwent not one or two, but at least 10 cosmetic procedures. Talk about going big or going home. What she thought would be a handful of touch-ups spiraled into a grueling transformation that left her body and spirit reeling. Her surgical checklist read like a catalog of reinvention. A mini brow lift, forehead Botox, a nose job, cheek fillers, chin reduction, liposuction on her neck and waist, ear alterations, breast augmentation, even reconstruction on her hips and inner thighs. Not to mention a buttock augmentation. It was as if she handed her doctor a shopping list and said, "Do it all." Later, Heidi opened up about the whirlwind of pain and emotion that followed. Beneath the glamorous surface was a reality of swelling, scars, and the heavy toll of chasing perfection. While she insists it all worked out in the end, her story stands as a striking reminder. In the world of fame, sometimes less is more, and the pursuit of unreal beauty can come at a very real cost. Joan Rivers, the legendary comedian and TV host, was celebrated for her razor-sharp wit and sparkling stage presence. But behind the laughs and the glamour, not every beauty enhancement told a happy story. In 2010, at just 23 years old, she shocked the world by confessing she had undergone a staggering 10 cosmetic procedures in a single day. A chin reduction, a brow lift, Botox injections, you name it, she did it. It was the ultimate gamble in the pursuit of perfection. Joan had always been admired for her natural beauty, But like so many stars, she eventually turned to surgery to keep up with impossible standards. Facelifts, neck lifts, blepharoplasty, her body became a canvas for constant change. In a rare moment of vulnerability, Heidi Montag, in an interview with her husband Spencer Pratt, admitted she was far too young to make such life-altering choices. She confessed the crushing pressure she felt from the images she saw online. Joan, however, spoke with a different kind of conviction. She insisted that plastic surgery must be treated with the seriousness it deserves. And she knew that truth firsthand. The recovery nearly cost her life. At one point, her heart even stopped. Her harrowing journey remains a stark warning. Beauty can be intoxicating, but chasing it recklessly can demand a price far greater than money. Sometimes, the true cost of looking perfect is your very life. Jennifer Grey shot to superstardom in 1987 with her unforgettable role as Baby in Dirty Dancing. Overnight, she became a teenage sensation and a role model for millions of young girls. But that breakthrough came with a cruel twist. It became nearly impossible for her to step out of Baby's shadow and carve a new path in Hollywood. Then came the surgery that changed everything. A rhinoplasty, meant to smooth out a small bump on her nose, ended up altering her appearance so drastically that casting directors barely recognized her. The very face that had captured hearts around the world suddenly looked like a stranger's. Roles dried up. The girl who had once danced her way into history was now struggling just to stay on the stage. Yet Jennifer refused to fade away. In 2010, she stunned audiences by winning Dancing with the Stars, proving that her talent and charm were still untouchable. With her loyal fans cheering louder than ever, she reminded the world that while Hollywood can be unforgiving, true stars find a way to shine. Because sometimes, it's not about avoiding the falls, it's about how gracefully you dance through them. Pete Burns, the flamboyant and magnetic frontman of Dead or Alive, became a pop icon with his androgynous style and the unforgettable hit, You Spin Me Round, Like a Record. But behind the glitter and fame was a darker story, an obsession with perfection that slowly consumed him. It all began in the 1980s with a simple nose job. What was meant to be a small tweak turned into a lifelong battle with the mirror. Dissatisfied, Pete went back under the knife again and again. Lip injections, cheek implants, and multiple nose reconstructions. By the time he appeared on Celebrity Big Brother in 2006, fans were stunned. His once striking face looked swollen and distorted, his mouth stiff, his words difficult to form. Burns later admitted the truth. He was addicted to surgery. Over the years, he endured more than 300 procedures, each one chasing an illusion that slipped further away. The price wasn't just his appearance, it was his health, his peace, his very sense of self. Tragically, in October 2016, Pete Burns' extraordinary life came to an abrupt end when he died of sudden cardiac arrest at just 57. He left behind a legacy of bold music, fearless self-expression, and a haunting cautionary tale about the cost of chasing perfection. Tom Jones, the legendary voice of passion and power, has been remarkably candid about his long affair with plastic surgery. Over the years, he's admitted to a series of nips and tucks, from a nose job and chin surgery to multiple facelifts, all in pursuit of a youthful glow. He even had his eyelids lifted and excess fat removed from his chin, sculpting a sharper profile that matched his iconic stage presence. In a revealing interview with The Mirror, Jones confessed that he'd gone under the knife so many times his own doctor finally urged him to stop. A Beverly Hills surgeon even half-joked that if he kept pushing it, his eyes might pop out. Still, the Welsh superstar wasn't shy about the cost of vanity, reportedly spending nearly $46,000 on cosmetic enhancements. Yet, despite all the surgical tweaks, Tom drew a surprising line in the sand: his hair. He chose to embrace his natural gray, proudly wearing it as a badge of authenticity. After years of altering his face, this decision gave fans a glimpse of the real man behind the legend, a reminder that not everything needs to be perfected to shine. Kathy Griffin may be known for making people laugh, but she hasn't escaped the harsh beauty standards of Hollywood. She has spoken openly about battling low self-esteem and the cosmetic procedures that followed. At just 26, an agent's offhand remark about her big nose pushed her into getting a nose job, an experience that left a permanent mark on how she saw herself. That wasn't the end. Griffin also underwent liposuction, a risky decision that nearly cost her life when complications struck. Yet even after that terrifying scare, she continued chasing the promise of perfection, turning to more procedures to erase lines and wrinkles. Over the years, she poured at least $30,000 into cosmetic enhancements. Still, Kathy never abandoned the basics. She has always stressed the power of diet and exercise, insisting that while surgeries may help maintain appearances, true beauty comes from living healthy. Today, at 63, she embraces a balance, acknowledging her choices, owning her story, and proving that aging gracefully is possible when confidence and self-care come first. Demi Moore, at 55, seems to be aging in reverse, her beauty turning heads as much today as it did decades ago. But behind that timeless glow lies a story of transformation fueled by cosmetic enhancement. According to Radar Online, Moore has invested heavily in maintaining her youthful look, reportedly undergoing breast augmentation, fillers, Botox, liposuction, and even the rare step of knee surgery. Yes, laser treatments on her knees to smooth the skin, a procedure few even realize exists. Her pursuit of perfection hasn't come cheap. Sources estimate she has spent close to $400,000 sculpting her body, refining her features, and polishing her skin to preserve her iconic allure. While Moore publicly denies having had work done on her face, her flawless, wrinkle-free complexion at 55 leaves many skeptical, wondering if there's more to the story than she admits. Whatever the truth, one thing is certain: Demi Moore has defied the passage of time. Whether by genetics, discipline, or the surgeon's hand, she remains a vision of ageless beauty, captivating the world just as she always has. Roseanne Barr, a name that once ruled American television in the late 80s and carried into the 2000s. She became a household figure as the bold, unfiltered working-class wife on her hit sitcom Roseanne. Known for her unapologetic humor, she famously declared, "It's okay to be fat. So you're fat, just be fat and shut up about it." But as time went on, Roseanne didn't always follow her own words. She turned to drastic measures, undergoing multiple weight loss surgeries and even a nose job, reportedly spending $45,000 on cosmetic enhancements. Yet, no amount of transformation could protect her from controversy. Her much-hyped return with the reboot of Roseanne initially drew in massive audiences, only to come crashing down after a now-deleted racist tweet ignited national outrage. The show was abruptly cancelled, and Roseanne's career was left in tatters. Plastic surgery may reshape a face, but it cannot erase words. And for Roseanne Barr, the scandal of that single tweet remains a defining and devastating chapter in her legacy. Sharon Osbourne has never been shy about her plastic surgery journey. In fact, she even jokes that she's already on phase 3 and counting. One of her first major procedures came in 2016, when she underwent gastric band surgery that led to dramatic weight loss. But with the pounds gone came excess skin, and Sharon wasted no time turning to surgery to tighten and reshape her body. From there, she went all in: liposuction, a neck lift, a breast lift, a tummy tuck. She even had her arms, legs, and backside sculpted, along with implants placed in her stomach to refine her silhouette. Over the years, Sharon is said to have spent a staggering $160,000 chasing the body she wanted. And while the price tag might make some gasp, Sharon has been brutally honest. For her, every dollar was worth it. She's proud of the results, unapologetically embracing the woman she sees in the mirror. Thank you for watching Exposed Hollywood. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe. There's so much more drama, secrets, and surprises waiting in our next videos. Stay tuned, and see you soon.